The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our presentation on getting results on Amazon advertising. My name is Megan Beam. I am VP of E-commerce and Strategic Partnerships at Adtaxi, and I'd like to introduce my colleague Cameron Walker. Cameron, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Awesome. Really excited to have Cameron here with us today. I am actually just going to be your facilitator. I'm going to let Cameron do all the dirty work today. But we're really excited to have him here. You know, he traded the mountains for the ocean front. I traded the mountains for a baby. So we like to talk to each other about what our views look like here. And fortunately, he's just dreaming of the mountains. I'm dreaming of the mountains and the ocean. So anyway, we're excited for everyone to join us from around the country today. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. This is our agenda for today. We're going to talk a little bit about why choose Amazon. Obviously, we know it's prolific, it's huge, it's present in our everyday lives. So we'll talk a little bit more about that from your business perspective. And then how to set the groundwork, talk about some foundational things that are going to then help your paid investment and your overall sales and experience on Amazon can improve once you actually set some foundations and grow from there. Then we will discuss some of the metrics that are important and that you can look at to make sure that your investment and your advertising and your whole business experience on Amazon is working for you, and help to identify areas where things could work a little bit more efficiently for you. And then we'll leave you with some helpful tips and reminders, and we are going to share this presentation with you so you can always go back to it afterwards and pick out some of those points that really hit home or that you think you have an opportunity to invest or improve upon. All right, so why choose Amazon? So Amazon's vision and mission statement is pretty cool. It's be Earth's most customer-centric company to build a place where people can come and find and discover anything they may want to buy online. So usually you come up with a mission statement before you embark on a journey. So I would say that their mission statement was pretty right on and that they've been very successful at doing that. That's certainly been my experience shopping on Amazon. Cameron, I know you tell me all the time all the things you get on Amazon delivered like same day, right? So you're always telling me stories about that. Being maybe on the coast in a big city is giving you a bigger advantage. Forgot to tell everyone your ocean front is actually in the LA area. And while its delivery is not quite caught up that fast here in Denver, we're getting there. But anyway, Amazon has built an unbelievable catalog of more than 350 million products, books, media, wine, services, and so, really runs the gamut. And that includes Amazon Marketplace sellers like yourself. So, Cameron, question for you. Are you a Field of Dreams fan or a Wayne's World fan?
I have to say I am a sports guy, but in this case, if we're picking some favorite movies of all time, I do have to pick Wayne's World. It's Party on Wayne, Party on Garth.
Awesome. I have to agree with you, but that was actually a trick question anyway, because they actually both use the quote, if you build it, they will come. And so, in fact, Amazon has built it and they shipped over 5 billion items worldwide way back in 2017. It's already 2020, so that number is just skyrocketing. So Amazon is undoubtedly a channel that most businesses can reach a large audience on and be very successful. However, as many of you are probably aware, Amazon can be a very challenging environment. So, our customers talk to us all the time about how the margins are lower, and that makes their investment in other things like paid ads and things on Amazon a lot harder. And even hard for some businesses to even enter into the Amazon environment. So, there's also a lot of different rules to play by, both just for selling on Amazon and then, of course, adding advertising on top of that. Their optimization tool for paid ads is quite in infancy stages in comparison to other platforms, and it's an intensely competitive environment. So today we'll help guide you through the environment with stats on where to place your bets, how to invest your time and money into Amazon marketing opportunities, give you some tips to run as lean and effective as possible to help maximize sales and revenue. So, with that, and without further ado, party on, Cameron. Over to you.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Megan. Thanks again, everyone, for being on here. I want to jump in and discuss some of the moving pieces for the Amazon marketplace. And first things first, we're just going to start with some of the key players and fulfillment types that are available through Amazon. So your first type of key player that you're going to see inside of Amazon is actually going to be what is considered a first-party seller, which is Vendor Central through Amazon. And Amazon actually considers themselves to be first party. So essentially you're wholesaling your products to Amazon or other authorized vendors, and they're actually selling on Amazon for you. You are not going to see as big of cut as profits selling this way. You're kind of just handing things over to Amazon to run for you. Whereas we're looking to target more of what is considered third-party sellers. These are going to be your personal seller accounts, your the Amazon, Seller Central accounts for brand owners, manufacturers, resellers also do fall into this category as well, just because they are using a professional seller account. But resellers are considered arbitrage sellers on Amazon. So moving forward, let's talk about some of the fulfillment types that are available to you as a seller on Amazon. The most prominent fulfillment option is going to be FBA, and this is where Amazon actually fulfills these orders for you. So anytime an order comes into your seller account, Amazon's going to ship out the product for you, and that's going to be a prime item actually, because Amazon can guarantee that quick fulfillment rate. Whereas with fulfilled by a merchant, that can be a different story. You as the seller are fulfilling your own orders, and it can be costly just because if somebody does want a expedited shipping process, you either have to include that into your price or charge the consumer for it. So FBA sellers do typically see better sales growth using that through the Amazon marketplace.
Great. Thanks, Cameron, for that overview. And the reason why we bring these different players to the table is each of you may be in a different one of these. You may be a different type of seller. You may have different fulfillment types. And it just becomes important when some of the different advertising opportunities are available to in these different situations. And some of these, like your fulfillment type, really does make an impact on the scale and success you can see with paid ads. So we'll go through that a little bit more, and so you can see what makes the most sense based on your situation.
So let's discuss the Amazon ecosystem. We're talking about why Amazon. For me, having to tell you, the seller, why you need to be selling on Amazon is like me telling you why you need to brush your teeth. Amazon is by far the largest e-commerce merchant in the United States. eMarketer forecasts that 38% of US e-commerce revenues will go to Amazon this year. They keep achieving new milestones year after year, most recently one-day shipping, which actually did decrease their profits slightly in 2019. But these milestones in growth in total in Prime users is now about 51% of US households, which continues to open up new opportunities for sellers on Amazon. Our job as marketers is to help you maximize wasted spend or minimize wasted spend, and maximize the spend that returns to you. FBA is a prime way to do that, no pun intended. In fact, if you are FBA, you can expect a 30 to 50% increase in sales just using that fulfillment type through the marketplace. So US digital ad revenues at Amazon will more than double this year. eMarketer does estimate moving up the ranks past Microsoft to take number 3 position behind Facebook and Google. Amazon's strength in search has been surpassed only by Google. In 2018, Amazon became the number 2 search ad player in the United States, and that is ahead of Microsoft. We expect Amazon to keep growing its share of the US search ad market. And it will be one of the only large search ad publishers to do so. So we know Amazon is the biggest e-commerce marketplace, but how do they match up against other players? According to the Search Engine Land just this week, less than a third of those advertising on Amazon said they're not selling on other marketplaces. Nearly 40% of those are participating in Google's relatively new Shopping Actions program. eBay ranked second with 32% of Amazon advertisers also selling on that marketplace, while 22% are selling on Walmart Marketplace. So it just goes to show you that Amazon is consistently growing year after year. So why are more brands shifting to Amazon? Like we discussed, just the array of shoppers that are in one place. About 80 million Americans are Prime members, and that's a huge chunk of the United States. Online buyers are starting their hunt for products on the marketplaces more frequently. A lot of searches begin here. So access to Amazon fulfillment, their shipping capabilities. Consumers are seeking a one-stop shop product variety, availability, the fast, free shipping. Amazon offers those things. So repeat buyers favor this marketplace over most other online retailers. And marketplace, Amazon is a marketplace that is reinventing and revolutionizing global retail. So as we discussed, the beauty of Amazon is the array of shoppers that use this marketplace. And the best part is you are getting these array of shoppers, and they are at all stages of their buying process. So over half of the product searches in the United States actually begin on Amazon. And 56% of consumers that visit Amazon are visiting Amazon before any other site. And that's a rather large number of consumers that are visiting Amazon before any other site. So 90% of consumers use Amazon to price check products as well. And that's a rather large number as well. So now that we've discussed the many reasons why Amazon is a viable marketplace for many sellers, I do want to discuss setting the groundwork behind brand building and conversion rate optimization. So Amazon's interconnectivity, some call it the flywheel effect. What it really means is that everything inside of the Amazon ecosystem is interconnected. One thing impacts your success on Amazon, your owned organic product content, which are your detail pages and store pages, your paid media, the search, the display, and then the product merchandising, your earned customer experiences, your conversion orders, customer reviews, search rank, Each of these legs impact each other and are needed to stand and scale your business efficiently. You can't scale your orders and revenue efficiently with paid media alone if your product detail pages aren't optimized to convert that traffic and aid in positive reviews. more conversions in total from your digital pages, paid or organic results, and higher organic ranking and visibility. Your paid ad success highly depends on you winning the buy box, which is heavily dependent upon the customer experience with your product and shipping as detailed in your organic content. So as such, let's talk about how to set these foundations with your organic content. So just some organic listings foundations. Of course, we're establishing brand presence. So this is a long-term investment, but detail pages are just as important as your paid ad portion of Amazon. Being that this is your physical product offering for your product, ensuring the information you're presenting makes sense on Amazon. Cover all necessary specs. Any attractive offerings your consumer needs to be placed on this detail page. So focusing on these 3 points are going to help you eliminate areas of potential failure when you do begin to pay for the advertising through Amazon. So the strong organic foundation is going to ensure you're not wasting any money, and making certain that your potential consumers do have a presentable destination. So the keyword research, the content curation, image optimization, you want to make sure that you're using extensive keywords. You're doing competitor research to build a strong organic campaign based on popularity scoring. As far as your content curation goes, carefully curate detail pages, titles, features, descriptions, the A+ content, your store. These things are just going to help increase your searchability for those types of products. And then, of course, you want to make sure that your images do adhere to Amazon's best practices, and you want to make sure that you have 4 to 5 per listing. So this is a great example of what a great detail page should look like. As you can see, this entire portion here with the image, title, the features, this is your product offering on Amazon. So what goes into a great title? A majority of the categories allow for a 200-character maximum. So you want to ensure that you're using all those characters. You don't want to waste any, or go with unused space. So having your company name, product, model, variant, color, size, number of units, and then of course including keywords that are most relevant inside of your title, as this is going to be the first thing that somebody does see when they are selecting your product. So what goes into great features? This portion highlighted in the silver box here, you're allowed 5 bullet points. You do want to include great keywords in here. You do want to include specs that are going to help sell your product. So in my opinion, it is great to show purpose of product. Should it aid in any sort of ailments, depending on what your category is, including viable information that's going to help sell your product to your consumer. And then highlighted down here in purple is a description. If you are a brand owner, you most likely will not be using this. However, just for the sake of informing, the description is an additional space where you were able to include verbiage that is going to include specs. Any additional information about the product can be included in here. And it does need to be in HTML format on Amazon in order to include these line breaks that you see here.
Great tips, Cameron. And I know nobody likes homework. I thought we were all past homework. Anyways, I would definitely take a look at your listings and see if you've included some of these things, filled out the maximum characters, put yourself in the mind of the consumer. How are you helping them get the information that they need to choose you and to choose you over any other product? So definitely check out competitors and see what they're featuring and see how you can differentiate yourself with really strong brand value and product propositions, value props. So I guess go take a look and see what it looks like, and I'm sure you can find some areas of opportunity. And as with most things, it's never set it and forget it. So definitely take a look at what you're doing, how other keywords are performing, new keywords in your account, and continue to update your listings based on that information and where else you're seeing success. Is that right, Cameron?
That is correct. So another important piece to your organic is going to be what they call a storefront. And first things first, you must be a brand registered seller in order to utilize this privilege. To enroll, you must have an active trademark, a registered trademark with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. And that is where you're going to find if you have the ability to verify that you have that trademark. And Amazon will an account associated with your vendor or Seller Central. Once registered, you can open access to these Amazon store pages, which essentially is going to be a mini multi-page website for your brand within Amazon, and a foundation for sharing your brand story, essentially. So your store is one of the only places on Amazon that gives you 100% SOV on the page and an opportunity to build brand loyalty. So no competing products, which is great. The goal is like a good landing page, is to provide an educational, easily digestible, visually appealing value prop and brand experiences to users. This is a great place to invest in quality lifestyle images, showcase best performing products, even introduce new ones. So users can easily access your entire catalog of products, increasing the likelihood that you'll see multiple products purchased at one time. So Amazon provides templates that make the store building phase a little bit less daunting than if you were to be building an actual website. If you're an Amazon only retailer, you can use this as a landing page to drive external paid traffic, such as your Facebook or Google to drive Amazon sales as well. So now that we've kind of discussed some of the moving pieces inside of what's going into your organic portion, I do want to dive into the paid portion, as this is what the whole webinar is about. So paid ads, growing your brand visibility and revenue within Amazon. So cutting through the clutter with Amazon ads, again, Amazon's strength in search is surpassed only by Google. Similarly, the bulk of ad revenue is from most of Amazon's net digital ad revenues from search formats. Ads purchased on cost per click basis with keyword targeting. Amazon's suite of CPC products includes sponsored products, sponsored brands, which are formerly known as headline search ads. Within this group, sponsored products still gets the most spending, as you can see. Display formats are gaining share as Amazon adds inventory both off and on Amazon. For example, the video inventory and the IMDb or TV free over the top service that they have, and beefs up the capabilities of its demand side platform, which is known as DSP. But search will continue to dominate as a portion of ad revenues through at least 2021. And it is necessary to pay to play component of your Amazon success, gaining visibility, scaling orders and revenue in what is considered saturated marketplace. So we are going to focus our ad discussion based on the search share and individual product share, starting with the sponsored products. So since sponsored products do carry such a huge weight inside of the Amazon ad sector, we are going to hone in on some of the moving pieces. As you can see here, this is just an example of what a sponsored products ad would look like. And as you can see here in this slide, we do include the different types of targeting, the placement, and the landing place where these ads will take the user, the end destination, excuse me. So some of the different types of targeting that are available inside of the sponsored products are going to be the keyword targeting, product targeting, which is attributed by ASIN, category, brand, price, ratings, or reviews. And then we do have automatic targeting as well, which we will discuss here later in the webinar. and then some of the different placements, as you can see, search results below below the headline search ad here. And then as far as product targeting goes, you will expect to see ads on product detail pages, whether it be a different brand competitor, which we also discuss later. So moving forward, finding success with sponsored product ads. Number one, you need to set a goal. As far as that goal being, whether it's going to be to gain profit, brand growth, we do need to determine what your campaign initiative is going to be. First out, figuring your overall goal is to use paid marketing is an important step. If you're looking for the brand growth strategy, you'll have a very different structure than if you're doing a brand maintenance or a return on ad spend. Be clear on this first before you move forward with your campaign strategy. So for example, your keyword list and bid strategy will generally be more aggressive if you are trying to grow your brand, whereas your bid strategy for a return on ad spend is going to be considerably more conservative. So you may also have a smaller budget, as your tolerance for diminishing returns would be lower under this pair diagram. So some tips to use along this journey for setting your goal. First off, ensure that your goal aligns with your overall cost of goods. We want to make sure that initiative is not shrinking your margins to the point that we are running at a loss. Think about what you can spend monthly and note that your spend can change based on your campaign initiative. And then analyze your existing data source to help kickstart your Amazon marketing efforts. And then moving forward into the second step of campaign creation for sponsored products, you need to focus on your strategy. Structure your campaign based on your strategic goals. Keyword conquesting competitors fall into their own bucket. Protecting your brand falls into its own campaign. Long-tail keywords, top funnel terms, mid-funnel terms, all are important considerations. Structure your campaign around your products. If you know you have a low margin product and a high margin product, they need to be in separate subcategories, okay? And another tip for success here is going to be map out your campaign strategy using what I use is this Excel spreadsheet. Diagram your campaign strategy can give you a great idea how it can look inside of the platform. You can use this list thereafter in your steps moving forward. You can include your subcategories, your keywords, once you've done your research. So consider how your ad will rank in any given search. Amazon doesn't have a quality score as you may see inside of Google or other search marketing. However, the concept does still apply. A variety of factors to influence the ranking of your ad, the bid, expected click-through rate, conversion rate, keyword relevance. These things do exist inside of the Amazon marketplace conceptually. So moving forward with our third step here for sponsored products is going to be the targeting. This is going to be setting and refining, ensuring that your keyword selection is great. So we want to make sure that you are using a keyword targeted campaign. You're going to select brand keywords based on long tail, high tail frequencies, balanced with less competitive finds. So your goals and structure have now been laid out. It's important to conduct your keyword research. Amazon tries to funnel searches for products through their auto section and did you mean feature built into their search. Terms that autocomplete or appear as suggestion in Amazon search likely have a much higher search volume. So start simple, use a keyword planner. You can provide some data. It doesn't necessarily have to be Amazon metrics. Google has a keyword planner that can be helpful as it provides you keyword data from a separate platform. From those who have used other platforms for marketing, using data from those platforms can give you a bit of a head start on keywords. So pulling keywords from results from search reports can provide you with terms that have shown relevance and could translate into the Amazon marketplace. Research your competitors, of course. Simply looking at competitor detail pages can give you a pretty accurate idea of what keywords they are using, great place to start. Inspect their titles, their features. That's a pretty easy indicator of what keywords a competitor would be using. And that's, like I said, finding the most relevant terms. Make sure proper match types are selected for these keywords, as this can also affect your bid strategy moving forward, and affect the overall outcome of this incubation period. So don't forget about brand. According to Digiday, brand keywords account for about 62% of the sponsored brand sales, and 42% of sponsored products in the third quarter. So moving forward to product targeting, you can improve the relevance of your ads by targeting single products in the categories. So most important thing to understand about product targeting is the fact that while useful in poaching for potential sales on competitor detail pages, it can be harmful to your overall campaign goal. So you do need to set all bias aside and make sure that this type of targeting is right for your product at the time. And the reason I say that is making sure that your products are displaying a competitive advantage over the product that you're trying to target on. You want to make sure that your price point is better, your reviews are comparable, and most of all, your product target makes sense. Product targeting is most effectively used when you've made certain that your product offering is more attractive than the targeted product. I mean, you need to analyze the price, determine where you stand, and you do need to be sure that if you are working with an entire category, that this same rule will apply. Your offer needs to be competitive. And then keep in mind, this opportunity can be used in different ways based on your initiative. For driving profit and running lean spending campaigns, our product section is going to be very selective. If we are reaching for brand growth, we may see a more aggressive approach, a bit higher spend due to additional products that may be running ads. So mining for new opportunities on Amazon, a great place to start is using the automatic targeted campaigns, just because this is Amazon. Amazon does collect a lot of consumer data, so that is stuck into an algorithm, and that's how the automatic campaigns are created. It is based on category, so you do need to be very wary of using automatic campaigns, but it does give you an opportunity to mine for key terms that you may have passed over. And it also can give you a great indication of what negative keywords you should be including in some of your campaigns. But run auto campaigns with caution, and then comb your search query reports is going to be a great way to mine for new opportunities inside of Amazon. So now I do want to touch a little bit about the sponsored brand ads. So first of all, what are sponsored brand ads? Sponsored brand ads are formerly known as headline search ads. Located at the top of the search results, as you can see here highlighted in that green box, you will see 3 alike products with the company logo and the product offerings. These 3 possible destinations, these ads do have 3 different product destinations, or destinations for your consumer that's interacting with them. So if someone does click on this headline search ad, they can either go to your brand customized Amazon store or search results page focused on your product brands. With both of these options, the consumer can add products directly to their cart and won't be shown any other competitive products. And then the third destination is the product detail page, which displays the customer clicks the particular product. So finding success with these sponsored brand ads, they're best used for supplemental brand growth, just because it is promoting your brand. As you can see, the ad really is a creative of 3 like products of yours with your company logo and then the name of your company. It sends them directly to your Amazon store or your product detail pages without showing them any other competitors. So it is important to focus on your top selling like products. Make sure your sponsored product campaigns see success before starting on sponsored brands. And again, sponsored brands, since it does promote your brand, is a brand only privilege. So you have to have brand registry. So moving forward to sponsored display ads. What are sponsored display ads, first of all? It is a beta that Amazon has recently rolled out. It is an advertising solution that lets you create display campaigns in minutes with a budget of any size. Use sponsored display to reach the right audience for your Amazon business, which is great because it is now on or off of Amazon. So as you can see, it is a targeting of viewers. The placement of these ads is off of Amazon, third-party sites and apps, and it does take them directly back to detail pages, which is the going back again to your organic piece. So moving forward, the Amazon DSP for display and video ads. Amazon has created its own DSP or demand side platform for serving video and display ads across the variety of on and off Amazon inventory sources. Some of the placements off of Amazon's marketplace are Amazon devices such as Kindle, Fire TV. As we know, they own IMDb as well as many of the other array of third-party partner websites they have. Video and display are strong complements to search as they offer audience targeting that can be narrowed down based on purchase journeys wherever that audience is across the available inventory. Higher funnel audiences reach people who have historically shown interest in a particular category. For example, mid-funnel may be those who have viewed similar products on Amazon, and low funnel would be those that have viewed your brand products and retargeting them by ASIN. So the biggest challenge today is the accessibility of the DSP to many retailers. Amazon offers a managed service working directly with Amazon, which does carry a hefty price tag of $35,000 a month minimum. They are also preferred sales partners and self-service options available with a nuanced budget requirements or entry points to consider. So measuring for success, some of the metrics that are going to be important for us moving forward in our Amazon journey as we touch back to the flywheel effect, but understanding the importance of organic and paid variables and their interdependence is going to be huge. As we've said many times, make sure that you're investing in your detail pages. And then of course, the metrics to consider. We do look at the month-over-month unit sales. We can look at that broken down by product, and then of course total units sold over month, and then your total revenue or revenue overall, and then of course revenue per product. We want to see how these top sellers are performing, making sure that your conversion rates are reasonable, advertising cost of sale, your ACOS is healthy with these paid campaigns that we're running for you. And then sales attribution, paid versus organic. It's great to understand where your sales are coming from. If you're seeing a heavy organic presence, something is going right. And if you see that your paid marketing is struggling for whatever reason, it's time to look back and try to pinpoint some possible failures. So with that being said, Amazon does have a new metric, which is new to brand. Advertisers receive campaign performance metrics such as total new to brand purchases and sales, new to brand purchase rate, cost per new brand customer, which this is great because advertisers now have tools they need to estimate the cost of acquiring new customers on Amazon, which allows them to identify the most efficient channels and tactics to achieve their campaign goals. Also, new to brand metrics determine whether an ad attributed purchases was made by an existing customer or one buying a brand's product on Amazon for the first time over the prior year, which is great. So customer experience metrics, reviews, order feedback, return rate. We want to make sure that your ODR is in great shape so we don't have to worry about possibility of buy box, losing the buy box, anything like that. So these are just some of the metrics that we find are important for Amazon. So just to touch a little bit on the Amazon attribution model, this also is in beta, but the Amazon attribution is a free tool that helps measure and prioritize the impact of non-Amazon marketing channels, including search, social display, email, and video, on driving engagement and sales on Amazon. So with the exception of Facebook and social, you can link to a non-Amazon landing page and still see clicks, detail page views, add to carts if someone purchased on Amazon on a last click basis. This is Amazon's first foray into opening up their audience and attribution data in connection with other media platforms, although currently in beta, and only open to a limited number of sellers with seemingly higher volumes of sales. So if available to you, you will find Amazon attribution in your existing advertising accounts. From there, you can create tracking tags per channel and per campaign to apply. Access and download reports in your report center. Note that Amazon attribution does not include on Amazon sales data, which should be looked at separately. There are some nuances with search and social in regards to view, though, and audience reporting insights. But Adtaxi has seen some strong incremental revenue, particularly with display. We will continue to test Amazon attribution and look forward to it becoming more widely available to give the sellers in a more holistic view on their media mix and how people are shopping. So just some last minute helpful tips for everyone today. We've talked a lot about the Amazon ecosystem, a bit about the organic, the paid portion, but I do want to leave you with a few other pieces of essentially food for thought. We want to make sure that your organic and paid advertising, that you understand the relationship and influence of each viable product for visibility that results in sales. So creating and maintaining a successful Amazon campaign relies on a healthy balance of both organic and paid advertising. So if you haven't prepared yourself in both facets, I do suggest that you take action as soon as possible. Like we've said, invest in the detail pages. Adtaxi will provide you with extensive keyword research to ensure your detail pages contain keywords only relevant to your product. So we can help you. Would love to boost your keyword rankings together. And then, of course, protecting what is yours on Amazon. I know we've talked about some of these options that are only available to brand owners only. Not only do you have these additional privileges, but being brand registered does help you protect the value of your brand. Amazon gives precedence to brand owners. So aside from just privileges, make sure that you're protecting yourself. And then, of course, set realistic expectations. Organic optimizations do take time, and then they do take time to gain traction. So we'll help you determine it will help you determine your long-term revenue sustainability. And not every product will scale on Amazon. That's the hard part. It is a marketplace. Not all products will be great. Some will perform better than others. So it is important to be patient and understanding of how the marketplace works.
Great. Thank you, Cameron. With that, we're going to open it up for some questions. And so please use the question box and write us any questions that you have lingering or that may have come up throughout the presentation. Let's see if we've got any questions. Okay, here's one. So right at the end there, Cameron, you talked about the long-term investment and how long it takes for things to gain traction. And so this could be a question in regards to organic or paid, but how long before business would typically see a return? And maybe talk about it from both an organic and a paid standpoint.
Absolutely. That is a great question. How long before I see a return? Since it is essentially it is a process. It is, you have to do one thing before the other. Typically 90 days is a pretty great milestone depending on the number of products that you're working with. But 90 days is a pretty realistic expectation just because there is a lot that does go into the paid portion. So if you're changing content for 5 or 6 different products, that could be a month's time depending on your bandwidth. And then from there, you may see a small increment in organic sales, but where you're really going to see that kickstart is when you move into the paid portion, which also does take time. You need to do your keyword research. You need to, first of all, come up with your campaign initiative. You need to lay it out with your strategy, and then from there, that's when your campaigns get built out. But typically 90 days is a pretty great milestone for realistic expectations.
Great. And obviously, well, since it is so similar to search, I mean, you could look at this like PPC and search engine optimization or SEO, like from a Google standpoint. For example, while you're building up your organic rankings, you can still see immediate effects with the paid side. And then if you have built your foundation with the organic, you should even see a bigger increase in how your paid traffic is converting. So you could do your product portfolio in pieces, optimize a few products first, and then run your paid campaign. And then, of course, optimization is ongoing for both paid and organic, primarily on the paid side. So that's where the longer term effect can still come into play from a paid standpoint, because you're constantly learning and evolving your strategy and your performance on the paid side. Okay, that gave, I think, a little bit more time for a couple more questions to come in. Here's a great one. What should my ACOS be?
That is a great question. As we've discussed previous in the webinar, the ACOS it can change depending on what your campaign initiative is. Like we said, if you're driving for profit, you're probably going to have a more conservative ACOS, whereas if you're driving for brand growth, you may have a higher ACOS with a higher spend. But it does go both ways. I mean, different products have different margins, fee, positioning in the funnel. For example, let's say we have a branded campaign for a low margin product. We have to have a very low ACOS on that campaign, or it's not going to be profitable. Whereas higher margins, higher position in the funnel generally means we become more willing to accept the higher ACOS. Also, your campaign initiative, like we said, can play into that as well. So really, the ACOS can change. Typically, you want to try to operate below a 50%, but the ACOS goal can change depending on your initiative, the purpose, the product, then that product margin.
Yeah, you make a really great point, Cameron, is breaking up your metrics by initiative, not just looking at your total kind of effective ACOS for your entire Amazon account, but rather seeing what each of those individual initiatives, high, middle, and low funnel, are performing for you, and looking to make sure those are where you want it to be, and that will overall, help your effective total account ACOS at the end of the day. All right, so we have mentioned other platforms like Google quite a few times, and we actually have a lot of customers that run on both or have been on Google for quite some time and are just venturing into the Amazon paid space. So the question is, what are the biggest differences between Amazon PPC and Google PPC?
Just off the top of my head, one big difference that I can think of is the fact that you write your ads on Google direct to the website, whereas Amazon, your product page is primarily your primary landing page, and the title functions essentially as your ad. And then another big difference is that the paid traffic helps to increase organic rankings because Amazon gives preference to the most total sales versus Google, which keeps paid ads completely out of their organic ranking algorithm.
Yeah, that is a big fundamental shift, isn't it? That the organic really impacts your ranking. But you brought up another good point: is that your title becomes the headline in your ad. So that's another reason when you're investing in your detail page to think about how that's going to appear in your sponsored product ads. Correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's a little bit different as well. Um, all right, and then one final question, another really good question. You mentioned positive reviews being important. How do I grow my reviews on Amazon?
Yeah, that I can speak to that in just a little bit here. If you're new to Amazon, Amazon does have a program that they call Early Reviewer, which is a paid program for Amazon. I believe it's about $60 per product, but Amazon will help you get your first 5 reviews. That is an option, not the first option that I would use. For those that even are new to Amazon or do have existing sales on the marketplace, using a program, for example, like a Feedback 5, that automatically sends an email to post-purchase consumers to kindly write some sort of review, nudge them to rate their experience with you. It's important to realize that you can't solicit for reviews on Amazon, so you do need to be very careful about how you're sending your message for this type of work as well. You want to make sure that your message is not soliciting reviews in any way because it can get you into turmoil with Amazon.
Perfect. And then just providing a good user experience too. It's a very um, it's a community, right? So a lot of people write reviews and they're pretty accustomed to doing so. So again, excuse me, one of the biggest things is just when you're focusing on your content and your storefront and your detail pages is giving the all the accurate the most accurate information you can about what the customer can expect and then really hard to deliver on that, and that should really increase the amount of positive reviews that you get.
Yes, well said.
Okay, well, I think that is it for us today. Want to thank everyone for joining us again. Please reach out if you have any additional questions. We will be sending out this recording and a copy of the presentation for you. We would be more than happy to take a look at your current Amazon experience, both on the paid and organic side, and just help dive into what the opportunities are for you specifically. So please let us know. We hope you found it helpful and enjoyed your time today. We look forward to talking to you soon.